You and your family. This is Chris here, the Day-to-Day Apologist. Welcome to my finale, History of the Holidays. I hope you've been enjoying these videos. I know I've learned a lot, and I can't help but thank my wife for helping me put some of these notes and things together. It's nice to be able to do a project together, and I love you. So with that said, if you haven't had a chance, make sure you hit that subscribe button, notification button, and hit the like button if you're really enjoying it. And if you missed my other videos, then hit that good old playlist button. You know what to do. Scroll on down History of the Holidays. You'll find 1 through 3 there. So with that said, what we're doing today is we're talking about on Christmas Day, we're going to be proverbially unpacking the gifts of information from the tree of knowledge. And we're going to be talking about Santa Claus, Christmas trees, and the name of Christmas. So with that said, let's get straight into it. Now, though we all picture Santa Claus, the ho-ho-ho, the holidays, being a big fat man who's white and has white hair, wearing red and white and a goofy hat as I'm wearing, that is not the original who Santa Claus was a real guy who existed during the 4th century in Turkey actually looked like. Santa Claus, or Saint Nicholas as he was originally called, was probably actually more of a olive-skinned, brown-eyed, skinny, gray-haired gentleman. And we know this because people in Turkey look like that, which is where he's from. Now, Saint Nicholas became famous when he gave 3 poor girls their money so that they wouldn't be sold into prostitution. What a great guy, huh? Now, when scientists got a hold of St. Nicholas's bones and they reconstructed it, they discovered that he had a broken nose. Now, why would he have a broken nose? Well, probably because during the 4th century, Christians were greatly persecuted. In fact, the Emperor Diocletian was not a very good emperor and not very supportive towards the Christian faith. So it is highly likely that while he was giving gifts and care and all the wonderful things that he is known for, he was probably being persecuted by the Roman Empire. Now, when we talk about Santa Claus, we can't help think about his reindeer or his sleigh, or in particular, his location, the North Pole. So where does that come from? Well, a poet-writer named Thomas Nash took the opportunity in the 1800s to write a poem about Santa Claus being located in the central part of the North Pole. Now, why did he pick the North Pole? He picked the North Pole for one particular reason. He picked the North Pole because at the time, explorers were starting to go into the North Pole to discover what was there. So at the time when he wrote the poetry, it was opportunity for him to make up fantasy and say, that's where Santa Claus is, adding mystery and intrigue to people reading his poetry. Pretty smart idea. Now, when we talk about Christmas trees, let's shift to Christmas trees for a second here. When Christmas trees are focused on, what we need to know about is that they originate from Germany in the 16th century, where Germans would bring them into their home and decorate them. Now, the first person known to decorate an actual Christmas tree, historically speaking, was Martin Luther, who put lighted candles on the tree. Now, that's a pretty bold move because if I did that, I'd probably burn my house down. But Martin Luther felt bold, so good for you, Martin Luther. Now, when we look at things like evergreens and you know, firs and things like that as trees for the holidays, we have to understand that it actually comes from more of a ancient religious practice, in particular the Druids, where they viewed those trees as a symbol of life, primarily probably because they were surviving during the winter solstice or the winter season, which most religions of the European cultures viewed winter as a season of death. Yet they were green and alive and well. Now, Christmas as a whole is known originally as Christes Masses, which means Christmas Mass. It is referred during the 4th century and primarily called that during the official announcement of Pope Julius I, which he made official the Christmas holiday on December 25th. So not only was it known as the Feast of Nativity, it was also known as Christ Mass. Interesting. Now, when the festivals of Christmas were celebrated, especially here in America, we have absorbed many customs and traditions. However, even though that has been the case since the 4th century, Jesus has always been a central point of this time of year. Though we know, historically speaking, he was probably born more in the spring than he was during the winter, people still choose to celebrate Jesus' birth, his message of hope, goodwill, and peace from God to all men. And we celebrate it here in this home enthusiastically. Now, the last thing I want to touch on is just an interesting fact. If you wonder why Santa Claus is a fat guy and he wears red and white, well, you could thank Coca-Cola for that because they a gentleman, helped create, commercialize, and advertise Santa Claus the way he looks today, which is why he wears the coat colors red and white, and he's fat, white, and old. God bless you guys. I hope you enjoyed these videos, and I hope you're having a great time this Christmas day. And take some time to share this video with someone else. God bless. Take it easy.